welcome back. It's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. And today, from McFarlane Toys in their DC Multiverse line, we are featuring Red Robin. So, Red Robin is actually former Robin, Timothy Drake. But when they reintroduced and kind of revamped the DC universe, maybe like 10 or 11 years ago during the New 52, I think DC at the time, they were really pushing hard for Damian to be the definitive Robin. So Tim Drake kind of got, you can either view it as two different ways. You can either view it as a promotion or them kind of pushing him aside from the Bat family. And they just kind of made him Red Robin. It was some years ago, but I think when they did the New 52, I think initially, I think the in terms of the story, I think Timothy Drake kind of strayed away from the Bat family, and I think he was kind of more Titans focused, if I remember my details right. I might be a little bit blurred on that, but I just kind of remember that for a period of time he was kind of absent from the Bat family during the New 52. They're really focused on, like, Damian being Robin, bringing Nightwing back into the fold. They're doing the Court of Owls. And Red Robin was kind of off doing his own thing. Likewise, Jason Todd was getting a giant push, and he was in Red Hood and the Outlaws, where he was teaming up with Arsenal and Starfire. So this is Tim Drake as he appeared some years ago. I was kind of conflicted on it because I was a big fan of Timothy Drake. Besides Dick Grayson, for me, Timothy Drake was kind of like one of the defining Robins. I was kind of out of the loop in comic books when they introduced Jason Todd, and then when I got back into comic books, there was the debut of Timothy Drake. So I kind of grew up with this character during my teenage years, and I have a pretty deep fondness for the character. So this is a cool looking figure. It's very different than what you expect a Robin character to look like. And I don't know. I think, you can either view it two ways. Either this is a design you're really going to love or you're really going to hate. When they first debuted the character in the New 52, I remember I was kind of lukewarm to the design, I kind of felt betrayed by DC because I kind of wish they kept Tim Drake as Robin. And I didn't mind them having, more than one Robin running around at once, with the same name, Damian and Tim Drake. But, I think it was in a way to give, Timothy Drake his own spotlight and kind of like create his own identity away from, Bruce and the rest of the Bat family. Which I think in some ways it kind of helped the character, but in other ways I kind of feel like it might have hurt the character as well. I never understood DC's mentality because it seems like they go through different seasons where they feel the need to really partner Batman with Robin, and then it seems like there's other seasons where they just kind of want to like have Batman nothing to do with Robin and just kind of push Robin as a solo character. Personally, I would love if they just had a dedicated book where it was just Batman and Robin, and there's been certain time periods in DC's history where they actually did that. Growing up as a kid, I always, kind of saw the two together. I always enjoyed the partnership, but that's just me. Right, enough babbling. Let's take a look at the Red Robin figure. So this figure came out some months ago. It's just now that I'm reviewing it because I saw it recently in the wild at my local Walmart. The design of the costume, it's pretty neat. Even though I was kind of lukewarm to it, maybe like 10 years ago, seeing it in action figure form is a completely different story. For lack of a better term, the figure is very toyetic. It screams, play with me, especially if you're a little kid. I'm a big sucker for like action figures that have like fold out wings. So this this is definitely one of those figures I think I'm really gonna enjoy. Like, I loved the new Hawkman figure from the Black Adam movie. I'm a big fan of the X-Men character Archangel. So any figure that has like fold out wings, I'm all over it. I don't know, there's something just really neat about it. And also he comes with his bow staff, which is right here. Okay, so let's get started. So we have Timothy Drake as Red Robin. Immediately, one thing I took notice of was his hair. I love the fact that they kind of highlight his hair with a light shade of blue. So it really accents the details and kind of gives it a sense of volume. I love the face a lot. The face mask is really neat. Now, the cool thing with this head, it feels like, you can easily swap this on to other characters. For example, if you have one of the Nightwing or Red Hood figures and you want to give them a different head, I think this is a pretty neat option. It looks really cool. It definitely captures the youth and enthusiasm of Timothy Drake. He kind of has a slight smirk. And then he has the Batman-themed mask, which is awesome. He kind of has like a He-Man-like cross strap across his torso. He has some capsules wrapped around his biceps. He has a utility belt. So this costume, when I first saw it in the New 52, it kind of felt like it took elements from the Red Robin character that appeared in the graphic novel Kingdom Come. If you read Kingdom Come, which I think is probably one of the top 3 comic book stories of all time, definitely check that out. It portrays a much older Robin, and except that character is called Red Robin. But I think they never, in the graphic novel, revealed if it was Timothy Drake or Dick Grayson. But I think it was implied that it was Dick Grayson. But here in the New 52, Timothy Drake's carrying on the mantle of the Red Robin, and he has the logo right there on his shoulder. Now, in terms of the height of the figure, you're looking at something that's, I think it's about 6 3/4. For a size comparison, here's one of the older McFarlane Batman figures. And as you can see, they pair up nicely. Timothy Drake's much younger, he's shorter. And this pairing actually works pretty well for me. Even though this is a very uniquely designed Batman that did not appear in any of the fiction that I'm aware of, I think this costume design really complements this look. So I think they look pretty cool next to each other. Now, in terms of the gimmick here on the back, it looks like he has 2 layers of wings, but I think only this set folds out, which seems kind of misleading because Alright, so yeah, it's almost kind of misleading because on the back of the box, there's only the one pair of wings, but here, I guess they're implying that here are the wings folded down versus the wings folded up. But, when I first saw this, I was kind of under the impression that maybe it had 2 sets of wings, but that'd be a little excessive. But this is definitely a really cool gimmick. It looks cool. Even, I'm kind of eating my words because even though I hated this kind of look when they first introduced the character, the action figure is pretty sick. It's really well done, nicely crafted. The colors just really scream on this character. I love the contrast between the shade of red and gold. It looks a little bit more vibrant on camera than in person, but nonetheless, I think it's still a really excellent color palette for this action figure. Yeah, this is really cool. I dig this a lot. Man, this is awesome. All right, so in terms, let's examine his articulation. So besides the wings that could like fold up and down, his head rotates left and right. As you can see, his arms rotate, they go outward. He has a bicep cut right there. He has double pinned elbows, articulated wrists, very standard. He has a cut beneath the breast line, so you can like rotate up there. He does have a waist swivel. His legs kick out about here, and then they kick outward like this. So I think almost full splits, double pinned knees, and standard toe and ankle articulation. So yeah, very solid figure. On a scale of 1 to 10, I hate to say it, but for me this is almost perfect, which is very, very ironic because, like I mentioned at the start of the video, I wasn't very fond of, you know, the look of this character and the direction they took with the character during the New 52. But I'm kind of in love with this figure. I think for me this is close to being perfect. And the reason why I say that is because, for one, it's a visually very stunning looking figure. Number two, he has a lot of accessories. And when I say accessories, I don't mean, you know, he just comes with a bow staff. But, you know, he has fold out wings. He has this harness on his chest. He has additional straps on his shoulders. He has this cool utility belt. You know, this guy looks really decked out. And I kind of think it's kind of cool when you get a McFarlane figure where it's more than just the costume, and there's actually more elements involved in, you know, bringing it to life. You know, it's not just about the spandex. You know, it's kind of cool when they kind of give it, you know, a full deck of accessories. And I think that's fantastic. And this guy definitely looks amazing. It's really beautiful. Now, this is not your father's Robin. This is not the Robin you grew up on if you're a child of the 70s and 80s. But it's really cool, and I'm not sure if this is the look Timothy Drake currently has right now in the comic books. I'm not even sure if he's alive in the comic books at this point. I can't remember the last time I heard anything about Tim Drake. But like I said in previous videos, I kind of like fell out of the Batman comics, you know, I think a little over a year ago. So I'm kind of out of the loop. But it's awesome. He looks really, really cool. And it's nice that, you know, Tim Drake's getting a lot of love. You know, there's the Tim Drake figure from the Gotham Knights video game series. There's the recently released gold label Robin figure. That's Tim Drake. And let me grab that real quick. So if you're more about like more classic designed Robin, and when I say classic, I mean like, you know, mid 90s to late 90s to early 2000s, this might be your jam. And I think a lot of collectors, for the most part, they're waiting for the repaint. Like, even though the red costume's cool, I think people want the traditional red, green, and gold costume. But this is a cool figure. The shade of red is a lot more on the yellow and orange side than this one. And this one almost takes on kind of like almost like a comic book and animated inspired appearance, especially in the face. But yeah, you have different Robin options. You know, if you're a big fan of Tim Drake and Robin, there's definitely a figure out there for you. And I will review this in the near future too, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, so let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I will see you at the next one. Alright, later.